Hello, and welcome back to Sleeping Gift. Tonight, allow me to share a story to accompany you as you drift off to sleep. Before we go any further, take a slow and gentle breath. Let the calm air fill your chest, then slowly exhale. Release every burden you have been carrying. Let your imagination gently guide you into this story. Now, let's begin the story. Breathe in, breathe out, and let me take you away for a moment into a story. Quiet night in the green rice fields. Soothing bedtime story for anxiety, relief, and restful sleep. Before we enter this story, take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. Now, it is time for us to step into this journey. You are resting so peacefully now, lying in the soft comfort of your bed, the covers drawn gently around you like a warm embrace that holds you safe and still. Your body sinks deeper into the mattress with each slow breath you take, the quiet of the night wrapping around you just as the scene before your half-closed eyes begins to unfold in the gentlest way. Far away in the stillness, the quiet rice terraces stretch out under the dark velvet sky, their green steps descending one by one like ancient, patient shelves carved into the gentle hills. The air feels cool and damp, carrying the faintest scent of wet earth and fresh green leaves that have rested all through the day. As your eyes rest half open, you notice how the terraces lie so calmly in the night, each level holding its own shallow pool of water that reflects the soft, distant glow of stars above. The green steps seem to breathe ever so slowly, the young rice plants standing tall, yet swaying with the lightest touch of a breeze that moves like a tender sigh across the fields. No hurry lives here, only the steady presence of the land resting after the sun has long since slipped away. The mist has not yet begun its slow rise, but already the night air feels thick with possibility, a gentle promise of softness that will soon drift upward from the lower terraces and begin to wrap around those emerald layers. You feel your own breathing slow in rhythm with the quiet scene, your chest rising and falling in long, unhurried waves that match the subtle movement of the rice stalks. The sound of distant water trickling ever so faintly between the paddies reaches your ears like a whispered lullaby, soft and continuous, never rising or falling sharply, but simply flowing in its peaceful path. The green of the terraces holds a deep, soothing tone in the darkness, not bright, but rich and alive with the memory of daylight, now hushed into this nighttime calm. Each step of the terrace curves naturally with the shape of the land, creating a series of wide, inviting platforms that invite the eyes to wander downward without any need to rush. Lying here in your bed, you sense the vast openness of the night sky above the terraces, how it stretches endlessly and holds the fields in its quiet care. The air carries a subtle coolness that brushes against the skin of the imaginary landscape, much like the gentle draft that might touch your own cheek as you rest. Small droplets of dew begin to form on the tips of the rice leaves, catching the faint light and sparkling for just a moment before settling into stillness again. Everything feels held in balance, the earth below supporting the terraces with unwavering steadiness, the sky above offering its dark, protective blanket. The gentle repetition of the layered steps draws your attention softly, one terrace leading to the next in a slow, descending rhythm that mirrors the way your thoughts can ease and release now. No sharp edges exist here, only the rounded curves of the earthen walls holding the water and the green. The scent of the rice fields grows a little clearer in your awareness. That fresh, earthy aroma mixed with the clean smell of night air after the warmth of day has faded. You notice how the entire scene seems to settle more deeply with each passing breath you take, the terraces lying peacefully, as if the whole world has decided to pause and simply be. Your body feels heavier now in the bed, the pillows cradling your head with perfect softness, while the image of the quiet rice terraces continues to fill the space behind your eyelids. The green steps remain so steady, waiting patiently for the mist that will soon begin its gentle ascent. The sounds around the fields are minimal and soothing. Perhaps the occasional soft rustle of a leaf or the faraway murmur of water finding its level between the levels. Everything invites deeper relaxation, the kind that comes when nothing needs to happen quickly, when the night simply holds everything in its tender, unchanging embrace. As you continue to rest, the atmosphere of the terraces grows even more inviting. The cool dampness rising subtly from the soil and the water held within each green step. The stars above seem to watch over the scene with quiet benevolence, their light too faint to disturb the peace, but present enough to outline the gentle contours of the land. You feel safe here in your bed, accompanied by this slow, unfolding vision of the night rice terraces, where every detail whispers the same message of calm and release. The green steps descend with such natural grace, inviting your gaze to follow them downward in the softest possible way, layer by layer, breath by breath. The night deepens around the terraces, and with it comes a profound sense of stillness that begins to seep into your own being. The rice plants stand quietly, their leaves barely moving now, as if they too are preparing for the mist that will soon rise and wrap them in its delicate arms. Lying peacefully, you allow this image to surround you completely, the quiet rice terrace becoming a gentle companion to your drifting awareness, its green steps a pathway into even softer relaxation. You remain lying so peacefully in your bed, the covers resting lightly over you with that same warm, protective weight, while your breathing continues its slow and steady rhythm, guiding you deeper into the quiet night. In the gentle scene unfolding before your half-closed eyes, the rice terraces rest with even greater calm, their green steps layered one upon the other in the soft darkness, each level holding its shallow water like a mirror turned toward the sky. The young rice plants sway with the faintest repetition, a delicate back and forth that repeats again and again, matching the easy rise and fall of your own chest. Small routines of the night begin to show themselves in the most unhurried manner. A light breeze moves across the terraces once more, brushing over the green surfaces with the same tender touch, causing the leaves to rustle ever so softly before settling back into stillness. The water in the paddies reflects this movement in tiny ripples that form and fade, forming again in the same slow pattern, never hurried, simply repeating their gentle dance across the surface. The earthy scent lingers warmly in the air, that familiar blend of damp soil and fresh greenery, returning quietly with each subtle shift of the breeze, wrapping the terraces in its comforting presence. Your awareness rests on the repeating lines of the green steps, how they descend gradually from one level to the next, the earthen edges softened by time, and the constant care of the water that sits so patiently within them. The rice stalks stand tall in their rows, their gentle swaying repeating in waves that travel across the fields, like a slow, soothing breath shared by the entire landscape. No rush touches this place, only the quiet repetition of night settling more deeply, the cool air moving in soft currents that brush against the plants and then retreat, only to return again with the same kindness. The distant trickle of water between the terraces continues its soft, repeating song, a low murmur that flows from one green step to the one below, finding its level with unhurried patience. The sound weaves through the night like a gentle thread, constant, yet never demanding attention, simply there to accompany the slow rhythm of your breathing as you lie in bed. Dew continues to gather on the tips of the leaves in small, shining droplets that catch the faint starlight, then settle without disturbance, repeating the same quiet process across the wide expanse of the terraces. The green of the rice plants holds its rich, calming tone, deepening slightly as the night progresses, the color blending seamlessly with the dark surroundings in a way that feels endlessly peaceful. Each terrace step curves with the natural shape of the hills, creating those wide, inviting platforms that draw the eyes downward in the same slow, repeating path. The air grows a touch cooler, carrying the scent of the fields more clearly now, that fresh, moist aroma that returns again and again like a soft reassurance that all is well and resting. Lying here so comfortably, you notice how the routines of the night unfold without effort. The breeze visiting the terraces in its gentle cycles, the water rippling and calming in its own time, the leaves swaying and stilling in their quiet repetition. The entire scene feels like one long, continuous breath, expanding and releasing with the same tender care that holds you safe in your bed. The green steps remain steady and present, their layered forms offering a sense of endless calm that mirrors the deepening relaxation spreading through your body. The mist has not yet begun its rise, but the air holds a growing thickness, a damp softness that prepares the way for what will come so slowly. The stars above continue their distant watch, their light faint and unchanging, outlining the contours of the rice terraces with the gentlest touch. Everything repeats in this peaceful manner, the subtle movements of the breeze, the soft sounds of water, the quiet presence of the green fields, all blending into a rhythm that invites your mind to follow along without any need to hold on. Your breathing slows even further, matching the unhurried pace of the scene, each inhale bringing in the cool night air of the terraces, each exhale releasing any remaining tension into the vast, open stillness. The rice plants continue their delicate swaying, the repetition growing more noticeable yet never demanding, simply there as a soothing pattern that eases the awareness deeper into rest. The terraces lie so peacefully, their green steps descending with natural grace, holding the water and the plants in perfect, repeating balance. As the night deepens around this quiet landscape, the gentle routines continue their soft cycle, the breeze returning, the ripples forming and fading, the scent of earth and green filling the air once more. You feel held within this calm repetition, your body sinking heavier into the bed, while the image of the rice terraces surrounds you with its steady, tender presence, guiding you toward even softer layers of peace. The green steps stretch out in their layered beauty, each one a quiet invitation to release a little more, to rest a little deeper, as the night continues its slow, caring embrace over the entire scene. You lie so very peacefully now in your bed, the covers embracing you with their familiar, gentle weight, while your breathing has grown even slower, each inhale and exhale unfolding like the softest wave rolling across a still shore. In the quiet rice terraces that rest before your half-closed eyes, the green steps continue their calm descent into the night, each layered platform holding its shallow water with unwavering patience, the young rice plants standing tall, yet yielding ever so gently to the night air. The movements that once felt slightly more present have begun to stretch out, becoming slower, more detailed in their unfolding, as if time itself has decided to linger tenderly over every small element of the scene. The breeze that visits the terraces now moves with greater deliberation, drifting across the green surfaces in long, extended caresses that allow each leaf and stalk to respond in its own unhurried time. You notice the way individual blades of rice bend with exquisite slowness, their tips tracing tiny arcs in the air before returning to stillness. The motion so detailed and prolonged that it feels like a meditation in itself. The water in the paddies catches this breeze in ripples that form gradually, expanding outward in widening circles that take their time to reach the earthen edges, then fade with the same deliberate care, leaving the surface smooth once more. The scent of the damp earth and fresh greenery deepens in its presence, rising slowly from the terraces in subtle waves that linger in the cool night air, allowing you to sense every delicate note: the rich soil, the clean green of the plants, the faint mineral touch of the water, without any rush to pass. Each breath you take in bed draws this soothing aroma closer, as if the terraces themselves are sharing their peaceful essence with you in the gentlest exchange. The green steps reveal more of their texture now in the dim light, the soft curves of the earthen walls showing faint traces of moss, and the smooth sheen where water has polished them over time, every detail emerging with patient clarity. The trickle of water between the levels continues, yet its sound is stretched into longer, softer threads, each drop or small flow pausing momentarily before continuing its descent, creating a rhythm that feels infinitely extended and comforting. The dew on the rice leaves gathers with noticeable slowness, tiny beads forming at the tips and growing gradually heavier until they slip down the blade in a single unhurried trail that glistens for a moment before disappearing into the water below. The entire landscape seems to invite this deeper observation, where every small movement or texture is allowed to exist fully without hurry. In the embracing darkness, lying here with such complete ease, you feel your own awareness mirroring the slowed pace of the scene, your thoughts dissolving into the detailed stillness of the green terraces, the layered steps that descend with such natural, prolonged grace. The rice plants stand in their rows with heightened presence, each one a quiet sentinel whose subtle swaying now lasts longer, the back and forth motion drawn out like a lullaby that refuses to end too soon. The night air grows cooler still, wrapping around the terraces in a damp, velvety cloak that softens every edge and deepens every shadow in the most caring way. The stars above the fields remain distant and faint, their light allowing the green of the rice to hold its rich, soothing tone without brightness, the color blending into the night with exquisite patience. Each terrace step feels more defined in this slower rhythm, the wide platforms inviting your half-closed eyes to rest upon them for longer moments, tracing their gentle contours downward without any pull to move quickly from one level to the next. The atmosphere holds a profound sense of expansion, as if the quiet rice terraces are breathing more deeply now, their green surfaces rising and falling in extended waves that match the lengthening intervals between your own breaths. The repetition of these slow movements, the breeze lingering, the ripples expanding gradually, the scent drifting in unhurried waves, creates a tapestry of calm that surrounds you completely, guiding your body to sink even heavier into the mattress while the scene continues its tender, detailed unfolding. No element rushes. Everything is granted its full, gentle space to simply be, observed with the softest attention. The mist still waits in the lower reaches, its eventual rise prepared by this deepening slowness that permeates every corner of the terraces. As you rest so safely in your bed, the green steps of the rice terraces hold your awareness in their peaceful embrace, each layer offering more intricate details of stillness and subtle life. The water reflecting the night sky with mirror-like patience, the plants yielding to the air with exquisite care. The sounds, the scents, the sights all stretch out in this slower dance, inviting you to release into the same extended calm, where every breath feels like a long, soothing pause in the quiet night. The rice terraces lie in this deepened state of observation, their green beauty unfolding layer by layer with infinite tenderness, accompanying your drifting awareness toward even softer realms of rest as the night continues its gentle, unhurried hold. You continue resting with such profound ease in your bed, the covers draped softly over your form like a tender veil that shields and comforts, while your breathing flows in long, untroubled waves that carry you ever deeper into the embrace of night. Before your half-closed eyes, the quiet rice terraces rest in their layered stillness, the green steps descending with the same patient grace, each wide platform holding its calm pool of water that mirrors the vast, dark sky above and the gentlest reflections. Light observations of the scene drift across your awareness now, appearing softly and fading without any pull, simply coming and going like clouds passing high overhead on a windless evening. The green of the rice plants catches faint glimmers from distant stars, a subtle sheen that highlights the tips of the leaves for a brief, quiet moment before it softens away again, leaving the terraces in their rich, darkened hue. You notice how one particular terrace step curves more noticeably than the others, its earthen edge rounded by years of gentle water flow, the observation lingering for a breath or two, then dissolving into the overall calm without echo. The water surfaces remain mostly smooth, yet here and there, a single ripple from a faraway breeze appears, expands in a slow circle, and fades completely, the sight arriving with no urgency and departing just as peacefully. A light scent of wet earth and fresh greenery drifts through the air once more, touching your senses for a short while before easing back into the background, allowing the night to hold its quiet dominance. The rice stalks stand in their orderly rows, some leaning ever so slightly in one direction, while others remain perfectly upright. These small differences observed without judgment or lingering thought, simply noted and released into the soothing vastness. The distant trickle of water between the green steps continues its soft murmur, a sound that reaches the ears faintly, then recedes, appearing again later in the same understated way, never demanding attention but offering its gentle presence when it chooses. Lying here so completely at rest, your body feels heavier and more settled, the mattress supporting you with unwavering care, as these light observations of the terraces float through like delicate leaves on a still pond. One green step catches a momentary outline from the night sky, its shape defined briefly against the darkness before blending seamlessly once more. The dew on the leaves sparkles for an instant when a subtle shift in the air moves them. Then the sparkle dims and vanishes, the tiny event unfolding and dissolving without any emotional weight, simply part of the peaceful whole. The layered terraces stretch out in their descending pattern, each level a soft platform that invites a brief, effortless glance downward before the eyes rest again on the wider view. The cool night air wraps around the fields with a damp tenderness that is felt more than seen, a sensation that arrives quietly and lingers only long enough to bring deeper comfort before it too fades into the background stillness. No strong feelings arise from these observations. They come like whispers in the dark, gentle and transient, allowing the mind to remain open and unburdened. The rice plants continue their minimal swaying, some leaves moving with a faint rustle that reaches the awareness for a moment, then quiets completely, the sound appearing and receding in its own soft rhythm. The scent of the earth returns briefly, carrying that clean, moist aroma of the paddies, only to soften away again, leaving the night air clear and calm. Each green step holds its own quiet character in these passing observations: the width of the platform, the height of the rise, the way water sits so level within the boundaries. Yet none of them ask to be held. They simply exist and then gently release. As you lie peacefully in bed, the entire scene of the rice terraces surrounds you with this light, effortless quality. The green steps descending into the night like pages turning slowly in a book read only by starlight. The water reflects the faintest points of light from above, those reflections shimmering for a breath before stilling once more, the observation drifting in and out without trace. Everything in the landscape feels balanced and transient in the softest sense, inviting your awareness to follow the same pattern of gentle arrival and peaceful departure. The night deepens around the terraces, and with it, these light observations continue their unassuming dance, appearing like soft brushstrokes on a vast canvas and fading back into the quiet darkness. Your breathing remains slow and even, each cycle carrying you further into relaxation as the green rice fields rest in their layered serenity, offering nothing but calm and space for the mind to ease completely. The terraces lie so steadily now, their green steps, a series of gentle invitations that come and go in the half-light of your awareness, each detail a momentary gift that dissolves into the greater stillness, guiding you toward even softer layers of peaceful rest as the night holds everything in its tender, unchanging care. You lie so deeply at rest now in your bed, the covers holding you with the softest, most protective embrace, while your breathing has become wonderfully slow and spacious, each inhale drawing in calm, and each exhale releasing into even greater ease. In the quiet rice terraces that fill your half-closed vision, the green steps rest in profound stillness, their layered forms descending gently into the night with no movement to disturb the peace. The focus now settles fully on the silence that envelops everything, a vast and tender quiet that stretches across the fields and wraps around your awareness like the warmest blanket. The silence feels alive in its gentleness, a deep hush that allows every subtle breath of the night to be felt without sound. Your own breathing in bed mirrors this spacious quiet, the pauses between each inhale and exhale growing longer, more open, filled with nothing but the soft awareness of being held safely. The rice plants stand completely still now, their green leaves silent and unmoving, the absence of any rustle creating a profound sense of space where nothing needs to happen. The water in the paddies lies mirror smooth, reflecting the dark sky in perfect, unbroken silence. The surface so calm that it seems to hold its breath alongside you. This silence deepens with every slow moment, allowing the cool night air to be sensed through its quiet presence rather than any sound. The scent of damp earth and fresh greenery lingers in the background, not rising or falling, but simply existing within the hush, a soft companion to the stillness that surrounds the green steps. No trickle of water interrupts now. Even the distant flows between terraces have softened into complete quiet, the levels of water resting level and serene, contributing to the vast open silence that fills the entire landscape. Lying here with such complete surrender, you feel the silence entering your body through each long, slow breath, softening every muscle, easing every thought until only peaceful awareness remains. The green terraces seem to breathe in this silence too, their stepped layers absorbing the quiet until the whole scene feels like one expansive, unbroken exhale. The stars above contribute their own distant hush, their faint light present without any shimmer or movement, simply there in the silent dark, watching over the rice fields with infinite tenderness. The silence allows small sensations to emerge and dissolve naturally, the faint coolness of the night air on imaginary skin, the subtle weight of dew resting on leaves without falling, the gentle pressure of earth holding the terraces in place. These sensations arise within the quiet and fade back into it, never breaking the deep calm, but enriching it, like soft whispers that only exist because of the surrounding hush. Your breathing slows further still, the spaces between breaths becoming wide and restful, filled with this profound silence that mirrors the terraces so perfectly. The green steps descend in their layered beauty, each one wrapped in the same deep quiet, the earthen edges and water surfaces contributing nothing but stillness to the night. The rice stalks stand tall and silent, their green color deepened by the absence of any motion, blending seamlessly into the dark surroundings as if the entire field has settled into one long, shared moment of peaceful non-doing. The silence feels nourishing, a gentle companion that cradles both the landscape and your resting form in bed, allowing everything to simply be. As the night continues its slow progression, the focus on this silence grows even softer, the quiet expanding outward from the terraces until it seems to reach across the distance and touch you directly. No sounds arise to fill the space. Instead, the hush itself becomes the gentle rhythm, steady and unchanging, inviting your awareness to rest completely within it. The water remains perfectly still, the plants motionless, the air holding its damp coolness in silent suspension, all elements united in this profound, caring quiet. Lying so peacefully, you allow this deep silence to surround and permeate you, your body growing heavier in the bed as each slow breath draws you deeper into the same spacious calm that holds the green rice terraces. The layered steps feel like silent guardians of rest, their presence a quiet reassurance that nothing more is needed, that this stillness is enough, that sleep can come naturally when everything is held in such tender quiet. The rice terraces rest now in complete and beautiful silence, their green beauty softened by the vast hush, the night air cool and still, the water smooth and reflective, everything breathing together in the gentlest, most spacious way as your own awareness drifts ever closer to deeper, more restful realms. You rest so completely and peacefully in your bed now, the covers draped with the gentlest weight around your body, holding you safe as your breathing flows in wonderfully long, slow waves, each one deeper and more spacious than the last. Before your half-closed eyes, the quiet rice terraces lie wrapped in the same profound stillness, their green steps descending layer upon layer with unchanging calm. The repetition of visual details and small, soft sounds becomes the gentle focus now, returning again and again like a tender, lulling rhythm that soothes without ever demanding attention. The green of the rice plants repeats softly across every terrace step, that rich, darkened emerald tone appearing on one level after another, each row of stalks holding the same quiet hue that blends into the night. The wide platforms of the terraces repeat their gentle curves, descending one after the next in a steady, repeating pattern that draws the awareness downward in the softest possible way. The water held within each patty repeats its mirror-like smoothness, surface after surface reflecting the dark sky with the same unbroken calm, the repetition creating a soothing continuity across the entire landscape. Small sounds return in their delicate cycles, the faint rustle of a single rice leaf here and there, barely audible, appearing for a brief moment before fading, only to return again later on another terrace step. The cool night air moves in the softest currents, producing a subtle, whispering breath across the fields that repeats every so often, brushing over the green surfaces and then retreating into silence once more. These tiny repetitions of sound weave through the night like a lullaby composed of the gentlest threads, never rising, never falling sharply, simply returning with tender regularity. The scent of damp earth and fresh greenery repeats quietly as well, drifting up from the lower green steps in gentle waves that reach the awareness, linger for a breath or two, and then ease away, only to return again in the same unhurried manner. Dew continues to form on the tips of the leaves in its soft repetition, small droplets gathering slowly and glistening faintly before slipping down in tiny trails that disappear into the water below. The process unfolding again and again across the wide expanse of the terraces. The earthen edges of each step repeat their rounded, softened shapes, worn gently by time and water, creating a familiar, comforting pattern that soothes the eyes with its steady return. Lying here with such deep ease, you feel these repeating details surround you like a warm, rhythmic embrace. The green steps repeating their layered descent, the rice plants repeating their still, upright presence, the water repeating its perfect smoothness. Each repetition feels like a soft reassurance, a gentle reminder that everything remains peaceful and held in care. Your own breathing joins this rhythm naturally, the long inhales and exhales repeating in their slow, steady cycle, matching the quiet pulse of the night terraces. The faint starlight repeats its subtle glow on the highest leaves of the rice, catching the same delicate points of reflection across different terrace levels before softening away, only to appear again elsewhere in the fields. The cool dampness in the air repeats its gentle touch, wrapping around the green steps in consistent, soothing layers that deepen the sense of calm with every return. These small, repeating elements dominate the awareness now in the most caring way, filling the scene with a consistent, lulling quality that invites complete release. The rice terraces continue their soft repetitions without effort or change, the green beauty of each step returning to the eyes, the subtle sounds returning to the ears, the earthy scent returning to the senses, all in a rhythm as natural and steady as the beating of a peaceful heart. No new elements intrude, only these gentle, familiar details cycle again and again, creating a tapestry of calm that wraps around your resting form in bed. As the night holds everything so tenderly, these repetitions of visual details and small sounds become even more dominant. The green steps repeating their patient layers, the rice plants repeating their quiet stance, the water repeating its still reflections, all blending into one long, soothing breath that matches your own. The entire scene feels like a gentle, endless lullaby, composed of the same caring elements returning softly, guiding your awareness deeper into rest with every quiet return. The green rice terraces rest in this beautiful, repeating piece, their layered steps and soft details offering the same tender comfort again and again, accompanying you as your body sinks heavier into the bed and your breathing slows into even longer, more spacious waves of calm. You lie so deeply and safely in your bed now, the covers resting upon you with the softest, most reassuring weight, while your breathing has lengthened into wonderfully slow, expansive waves that carry you ever closer to the edge of deep rest. Before your half-closed eyes, the quiet rice terraces have grown even more serene, their green steps descending in layered calm as nearly all activity has gently finished. Only the smallest, most delicate movements remain, unfolding with exquisite slowness in the vast stillness of the night. A single rice leaf on one of the upper terrace steps trembles with the faintest breath of air, the movement so minimal it is barely perceptible, lasting for a long moment before settling back into complete stillness. Far below, on a lower green step, a tiny ripple appears on the surface of the water, expanding outward in the slowest possible circle, before fading away entirely, leaving the patty mirror smooth once more. These tiny remnants of motion appear here and there across the terraces, but they are few and far between, each one completing its gentle arc and dissolving without any haste. The dew on the rice leaves has mostly formed and settled, with only an occasional droplet slipping down a blade in an unhurried trail that takes its time before joining the water below. The breeze that once visited more frequently now arrives only as the softest whisper, touching one small section of the fields for a brief while before retreating, leaving long stretches of perfect calm in its wake. The rice plants stand almost entirely motionless, their green stalks upright and still, with just the occasional, almost imperceptible sway in the most sheltered spots. Lying here with such profound ease, you sense how the terraces have entered this phase of near completion, where the night has gently finished its work and only these last, delicate traces remain. The green steps hold their layered form with unwavering steadiness, the earthen edges and water surfaces contributing nothing more than quiet presence. The scent of damp earth lingers faintly in the background, soft and unchanging, no longer drifting in waves, but simply resting within the cool night air. The small movements that do remain feel like the final, tender sighs of the day, each one so light and brief that they enhance the surrounding stillness rather than disturb it. A faint glint of starlight catches on a single droplet of dew for a moment, then fades as the leaf stills completely. The water in the lowest terraces lies perfectly level, with only the rarest hint of a shimmer when the night air brushes across it, ever so lightly. Everything has slowed to this point of near stillness, the green rice fields settling into their deepest nighttime peace. Your own body feels heavier and more surrendered in the bed, the long pauses between breaths growing wider as these minimal movements in the terraces mirror the gentle winding down of all activity. The layered green steps descend with the same natural grace, now accompanied only by these occasional whisper-soft traces that appear and dissolve without effort. No new actions begin. Only the last remnants continue their slow, fading dance across the quiet landscape. The rice terraces rest in this beautiful state of near completion, their green beauty softened by the night, the plants standing tall and still, the water calm and reflective, the air cool and damp, with only the smallest, tender movements remaining to complete the gentle transition into full rest. The entire scene feels like a long, caring exhale that has almost reached its end, inviting your awareness to follow the same soft path. As you continue lying so peacefully, these final small movements across the green steps become even sparser, each one a delicate reminder that the night has gently finished its work and now holds everything in tender, quiet completion. The terraces offer this profound sense of having arrived at stillness, with only the faintest traces left to gently fade away, guiding you toward the same deep, effortless release. The green rice terraces lie so calmly now, their layered steps wrapped in near total stillness, the small remaining movements so light and infrequent that they only deepen the vast, soothing peace that surrounds both the fields and your resting form in bed. You rest so very deeply and safely now in your bed, the covers embracing you with the gentlest, most protective warmth, while your breathing has become beautifully long and slow, each cycle unfolding with ever greater spaciousness and ease. Before your half-closed eyes, the quiet rice terraces have settled even further into the night, their green steps descending in soft, layered calm as the light and sounds begin to dim around them. The atmosphere grows quieter still, wrapping the entire scene in a tender, fading hush that deepens with every passing moment. The faint starlight that once outlined the terraces now softens noticeably, its gentle glow dimming across the green surfaces until the rich emerald tones of the rice plants blend more fully into the surrounding darkness. The water in the paddies reflects this fading light with less clarity, the mirror-like surfaces growing subdued and hazy as the night's embrace tightens. Small sounds that lingered earlier have grown fainter, the occasional whisper of air across a leaf, now barely reaching the awareness before dissolving into the deepening quiet. The cool dampness in the air remains, yet it too feels softer and less distinct, as if the night is gently drawing its veil closer around the green steps. The scent of wet earth and fresh greenery has quieted into a subtle background presence, no longer drifting but simply resting there, muted and comforting in its reduced intensity. The rice plants stand motionless in their rows, their forms becoming less defined as the dimming light allows the darkness to hold them with greater tenderness. Lying here with such complete surrender, you feel the atmosphere of the terraces growing quieter with each slow breath you take, the light continuing to fade in the softest possible way, the sounds receding into longer stretches of silence. The layered green steps descend with the same natural grace, yet their edges and surfaces now appear softer, more gently blurred in the dimming night, inviting the eyes to rest without effort. The water lies almost completely still, its surface a darkened mirror that holds the faint, fading reflections with quiet reverence. The dimming unfolds gradually and without any sharpness, the starlight softening layer by layer across the terraces, the subtle sounds growing more distant until they blend into the vast hush. The cool night air wraps the fields in a velvety quiet, the dampness present but gentler, the entire scene easing into a deeper, more enveloping calm. These changes happen so slowly that they feel like a natural continuation of the night's caring hold, guiding everything toward even greater peace. Your body sinks heavier into the mattress, the long pauses between breaths expanding as the light and sounds around the rice terraces continue their gentle dimming. The green steps remain present in their layered beauty, yet they grow softer in appearance, the rice plants fading into the darkness with tender grace, the water surfaces losing their earlier clarity as everything prepares for deeper rest. No new light or sound emerges, only this quiet fading continues, softening the entire landscape with infinite care. The rice terraces lie wrapped in this dimming atmosphere, their green steps becoming more subdued, the faint sounds receding further, the cool air holding everything in a quieter, more intimate embrace. The night deepens its hold with the gentlest touch, allowing the light to fade and the sounds to quiet until the scene feels like a soft whisper slowly dissolving into silence. As you rest so peacefully in your bed, the quiet rice terraces accompany you with this tender dimming, the green layers softening, the atmosphere growing ever quieter, inviting your awareness to follow the same gentle path into deeper, more restful stillness. The entire landscape feels as though it is being lovingly tucked in for the night, the light and sounds easing away with such care that only profound calm remains. The green rice terraces rest now in this beautifully quieting state, their stepped beauty dimming softly under the night sky, the sounds fading into near silence, the cool, damp air wrapping everything in a hushed, protective veil as your own breathing slows into even longer, more spacious waves of peace. You lie so profoundly at rest in your bed now, the covers holding you with the softest, most enveloping warmth, while your breathing has lengthened into the gentlest, most spacious waves, each one carrying you closer to the threshold of deep, effortless sleep. Before your half-closed eyes, the quiet rice terraces have become almost entirely still, their green steps descending in layered serenity as almost no activity remains. Only a gentle awareness of the space itself lingers, soft and unobtrusive, filling the scene with the purest sense of peaceful presence. The green steps rest in near total quiet, their forms visible yet softened to the point where details have gently receded, leaving only the broad, calming outline of the layered terraces against the dark night. The rice plants stand motionless, their rich green hue now deeply blended into the surrounding darkness. Present is a subtle, soothing expanse rather than distinct shapes. The water in the paddies lies perfectly smooth and dark, reflecting almost nothing, simply existing as wide, calm surfaces that contribute to the vast, open stillness. This gentle awareness of the space feels like a final, tender embrace from the night, allowing you to sense the terraces without any need to focus or observe closely. The cool, damp air wraps around the green steps with quiet constancy. Its presence felt more as a soft, protective atmosphere than as any distinct sensation. The faint scent of earth and greenery has quieted into the background completely, existing only as a distant, comforting undertone that requires no attention. Lying here with such complete ease, your body feels wonderfully heavy and surrendered, the long spaces between breaths wide and restful as this gentle awareness of the rice terraces surrounds you. The layered steps descend with natural, unchanging grace, their presence a quiet backdrop that invites nothing more than simple, effortless being. No movements occur now. The leaves, the water, the air, all rest in perfect, undisturbed calm, leaving only the soft awareness of the peaceful space itself. The terraces feel vast and open in this near-silent state, the green beauty reduced to its essence, a gentle, expansive presence that holds no demand and offers only calm. The night sky above blends seamlessly with the darkened fields, the entire scene unified in a single, tender stillness where awareness itself becomes soft and undemanding. The coolness of the air remains as a subtle, caring veil, wrapping the green steps without any variation, simply holding everything in quiet repose. As the night continues its gentle progression, this awareness of the space grows even softer, the rice terraces existing as a calm, unobtrusive companion to your drifting mind. The green steps lie in their layered serenity, the plants and water contributing only their quiet presence, the atmosphere one of profound, undisturbed peace. Your breathing slows further still, the pauses lengthening as the gentle awareness of the terraces allows every remaining trace of activity to dissolve completely. The rice terraces rest now in this beautiful, minimal state, their green layers offering nothing but the softest sense of space and calm, the night holding them with infinite tenderness. No sounds, no movements, no bright reflections remain, only the gentle, open awareness of the quiet fields, inviting your awareness to rest in the same effortless way. Lying so safely and deeply in your bed, you feel this gentle awareness of the rice terraces becoming part of the same peaceful space that cradles you. The green steps, a final, soft reminder that all is well, that rest is complete, that sleep can arrive naturally when everything is gently quieted. The entire landscape feels like a vast, still breath held in perfect balance, surrounding you with its tender, undemanding presence. The green rice terraces lie wrapped in this profound, gentle awareness, their stepped forms softened into near silence. The cool night air holding the space with quiet care, everything reduced to its simplest, most soothing essence, as your own awareness drifts ever closer to deep, restful sleep. You lie so completely and safely now in your bed, the covers resting upon you with the warmest, most tender embrace, while your breathing has become the slowest, most spacious rhythm imaginable, each long wave carrying you gently toward the final edges of deep, peaceful sleep. Before your half-closed eyes, the quiet rice terraces rest in their fullest stillness, the green steps descending one final time into the softest, most enveloping darkness of night. The gentle awareness of the space itself now begins to soften even further, like a thought slowly dissolving into the vast, quiet sea of rest. The layered green steps fade ever so gently into the night, their forms no longer distinct, but blending seamlessly into a single calming expanse of peaceful presence. The rice plants stand in complete, motionless silence, their green beauty having softened into the darkness until only a faint, soothing impression remains. The water in the paddies lies perfectly dark and still, its surface no longer reflecting anything, simply existing as part of the vast, quiet whole that holds everything without effort. This final awareness of the rice terraces feels like the softest whisper, a tender companion that has accompanied you through the long, gentle night and now begins to release, dissolving slowly and naturally into the deeper calm. The cool, damp air wraps the green steps one last time with infinite care, its presence growing fainter, more distant, until it too blends into the surrounding quiet. The scent of earth and greenery has become the gentlest undertone, barely noticeable, fading like the final breath of a lullaby. Lying here with such profound surrender, your body feels wonderfully heavy and at complete ease. The long, spacious pauses between breaths expanding wider and wider as the image of the terraces softens into a hazy, peaceful memory. The green steps descend into nothingness with the gentlest grace, their layered beauty dissolving layer by layer, inviting your awareness to follow the same tender path. No thoughts remain to hold on to. Only this slow, effortless dissolving lingers for a moment longer before it too begins to melt away. The rice terraces have become a final, soft impression of calm, the green fields and quiet night merging into one vast, unbroken stillness that cradles both the landscape and your resting form. The night sky above blends completely with the darkened terraces, everything unified in the deepest, most caring quiet. Your breathing slows to its most gentle rhythm yet, each exhale releasing the last traces of the scene. allowing it to drift away like mist returning to the earth. As the final moments unfold, this gentle awareness of the rice terraces continues to soften, becoming lighter and more distant, like a thought that has served its peaceful purpose and now chooses to let go. The green steps, the still water, the cool night air, all fade together into the softest darkness, leaving behind only the warm, safe feeling of being held. Sleep approaches now with the tenderest touch, ready to welcome you fully as the last whisper of the quiet terraces dissolves completely. You feel so safe, so deeply relaxed, the entire night having guided you here with such infinite care. The rice terraces rest in perfect, silent peace, their green beauty having gently surrendered to the night, just as your own awareness now surrenders to the warm, welcoming embrace of sleep. Everything is calm, everything is still, everything is ready. Let the final softness surround you completely now, the gentle scene fading away like the last breath of a long, soothing sigh. Your body rests fully, your mind rests fully, and as this final whisper dissolves into silence, sleep arrives to hold you safely through the night, deep and peaceful, with all the tender care you deserve. Good night, dear one. Rest well. Where are you drifting over tonight? Let the weightlessness take over your body. If this story helped you find peace, please consider subscribing for more nightly journeys. Sleep well, traveler.